suffocates, whisper in the hall, where justice wears a mask and truth begins to fall. Every thread they pull, every lie they weave, in the courtroom's dance, who's left to believe? Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight. A photograph fades where the truth once stood, blurred lines between the bad and the good. The scales they tilt with every silver tongue, while the broken cry for a song unsung. Black robes sway like shadows on the wall, one wrong word and the mighty fall. Who's a sinner? Who's a saint? The jury's out, but the verdict's faint. Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight.
All right. Hey. Let's see. Give me a wave backstage to see if I've got microphones. Everything sounds good. Excellent. Okay. So I'm not in my normal situation, and I'm not in my green screen, so I may have some weird ghosting. Look at that. It's horrible. It's horrible. Oh, by the way, the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. I'm so excited. I got the shirt right after it happened, so I was so excited. But welcome to the Crimes After Dark. I'm being a little quiet because I'm at an Airbnb. I'm on the road. I'm doing travels. I'm doing some work. Can't tell you exactly where I am at any given time right now, but I will be back shortly at home and in my studio. So thank you all for hanging out and letting me come back and check in on the road. I have crazy shit to talk about. I know there's other things to talk about that have happened in the news as well. I got a great big huge dump of Brent Kopacka information from Freedom of Information requests or public records requests that I'm still sorting through right now. Already some kind of interesting stuff. We might talk a little bit about that. And then I'm going to catch up with my panel. I'm doing more travels tomorrow. I'll be in other places. I'll give you a little bit of details and some trivia here coming up. But let me get the panel up first. So let me get Dago on screen. He's the first one backstage. Hey, what's up?
Forget about it. And welcome back, big guy. Good to see you. I missed you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm excited to be part of the show again. I hate, like, it gives me withdrawals being away from my show for more than one day. It's like, what the hell? Like, I got to get back at my show.
I know. I tell them it's like therapy. And then when I don't see them for like 24 hours plus, when I was sick and stuff, it's like, I don't know how to react throughout the day because it's part of my day. So yes, I get it. It's great to have you back, sir.
Thank you, and thank you for helping with my team keeping the fort held down and the show going on. So I'm excited to be part of it. Yeah, and it sucks. I guess we don't get JJ and Logan tonight, but that's okay. You and the other crew will be sufficient enough. So let's get Robin up on stage as well. Robin, how are you?
All right, it's great to have you back and see your smiling face.
and I'm alive. I haven't been killed yet, so that's a positive thing.
there's an added
Yeah,
plus
it's
for
always a good
sure.
thing, sir.
I,
Always.
I gotta tell you, when you're out, kicking the hornet's nest, as my wife and I kicked the hornet's nest a little bit today. And when you do that, then whenever there's a black SUV following you, even if it's just normal, you get nervous. Black SUVs with tinted windows, and I'm like, son of a bitch. And I'm like, oh no, they just turned off. Like, why am I paranoid? Maybe because you're out there kicking the hornet's nest and you're just expecting horrible things to go wrong. But
It's part of what we do. Like I do it driving around my own neighborhoods. Like,
yeah.
why is that car over there? Who are you? I do it all the time. There's a little bit
So,
of paranoia that goes along with working in true crime. It's a fact.
It is. It is. It can be stressful at times. Well, let's get one up real quick, and then we will get into the show. One, how you doing?
Evening.
I'll remove stuff from your face. You're not. What's
Bros
up?
and hoes.
Bros and
Bros
hoes.
and hoes.
There you go. Robin.
Logan started the bros and hoes.
Yeah. Good to see you, boss man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I'll tell you more about what's going on. I think do you still? I mean, I've been gone so long. Do you still do a monologue on my show when I'm not here?
I do.
He
Let's
does.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Movie trivia. We got everything.
I'm looking.
We're now a game show. You didn't know. You didn't realize.
It's funny. All right, read us in for the night,
Sure.
and then we'll get going.
Sure. Is it good to be alive in the den on a Wednesday night?
Yeah.
Juliana, Jackson, hope you're feeling better. No, you're still sick, buddy. Love you. And of course, my beautiful wife, as always. Tonight, we slow it down. Not for drama, not for spectacle, but for clarity. This is Devil's Advocates, where emotion steps aside. Any uncomfortable questions step forward. We don't rush headlines. We don't echo narratives. We don't fear the gray areas. We sit in them. In the quiet town of Moscow, Idaho, 4 young lives were taken in a house that once echoed with laughter. The case the world now calls the Idaho 4. A crime scene that sparked 1,000 theories, an arrest that divided a nation, and a courtroom future still heavy with unanswered questions. Evidence, timelines, cell phone pings, surveillance footage, and the tension between what we know and what we've been told. Tonight, we don't sensationalize it, we examine it slowly. And then there's the unsettling shadow cast by the case involving Mickey Steins and Judge Kevin Mullins. A courtroom, a position of trust, a figure of authority. When the very system designed to protect justice becomes entangled in controversy, we don't look away. We ask, what happened? What does it mean? And who benefits from silence? Because justice isn't just about verdicts. It's about process, integrity, accountability. This is not a show built on outrage. It's built on inquiry. Here, we step back from the noise. We separate facts from assumption. We challenge narratives, even the ones we want to believe. If you're here for easy answers, you won't find them. If you're here for thoughtful analysis, measured discussion, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable possibilities, you're in the right place. So dim the lights, take a breath, set aside the bias you walked in with, because tonight we listen carefully, we question deliberately, and we advocate for the truth, even when it's inconvenient. This is Devil's Advocates. And with that, live from New York, it's Wednesday night.
I'm getting, it's like riding a bicycle. It's like I haven't even been gone for 2 days. It's like, right?
Feels like longer than 2 days.
It does. It does. Well, thank you very much for being here tonight and sharing some stuff. I'm going to give you a little update. I learned some new things. So I will tell you where I've been. I won't tell you where I'm going to be, but I will tell you where I've been. So I have been all over. Well, I've been all over the country, actually, but most recently in Kentucky. And one thing that I will tell you about Kentucky that I found fascinating was my wife and I had significant time in one part of Kentucky, around Lexington. And then we had another significant amount of time in Whitesburg, Kentucky. And it is unbelievable how different people speak in those two parts of Kentucky. This is something I didn't know. So for us Westerners, us West Coast people, you might say, and this is probably offensive to some, and I don't mean it to be there, but from our perspective, people in Lexington sound like us. They don't sound like they really have an accent. You get to Whitesburg, and it is massive accent, and it's the linguistic style is different. The accents are heavy, and it's not that it's only a couple hours away, but the difference is night and day. And it was funny because I didn't really make too much of a deal until my wife said, "What the hell? Like, why is everybody talking so different here than they are in Lexington?" And so I did a little research. This is what I like. The devil's in the details. So here's the deal. Lexington is more of a college town. It's more of a trade route. It's more of a big city kind of thing. And so because they have a lot of people coming and going from the area, they kind of adapted a more softer language style. But linguistically, the Appalachians is where those in Whitesburg, Kentucky, for example, are, and they're in the Appalachians area, and they have completely different style of language, and they've been kind of isolated from some of that other, like, and it's not, as they said, it's not an education level. It's not like people in Whitesburg are uneducated, but some people, they kind of equate that because the bigger city and the commerce routes basically adapt the softer language that is more like, but it was crazy. It was like the difference of night and day. And I was just like, what the hell? All of a sudden we're in the part of it, and they're just like, y'all, what the hell's going on? The accent came out, and I'm like, what the? But anyways, so education point, I thought that was interesting. Just a little historical stuff. They are very different in language styles. And I guess, some of the people in that area get pressured to try to drop the accent and become more, whatever you want to call it. Not, but no, that's kind of their style. That's what they do there. But anyways, let me tell you a little bit about Letcher County. I told my wife, if we go out to Letcher County to kind of look into the whole Mickey Steins thing and stuff like that, just get a feel for what it looks like and feels like in the county, what we probably don't want to do is spend a lot of time on old country roads. Well, I spent all day driving old country roads. I was all over the middle of nowhere. Oh my God. I was like, we're exactly where I said we don't want to be. But anyways, we went to the courthouse where Mickey Steins shot Kevin Mullins. That is a tiny, tiny courthouse. I met with locals who talk about, they refer to the jail there in Letcher County, that the courthouse has a jail in the basement. The judge's chambers actually has an elevator that goes straight from his judge's chambers right down into the jail down below. They call it the dungeon. That place is tiny. Like, how we always go on and on about how tight Idaho 4 is, how Moscow, Idaho, or that little neighborhood, 1122, everything is tight. It's the same kind of feel. It's just, the freaking sheriff's department is right on top of the courthouse, and the courthouse and the jail and the coroner's office, they're all packed within like one block. They're all they all share the same block. It was crazy how small and tight it is. I'll guarantee you, I think we actually saw probably the place where Kevin Mullins was shot because we were going in there looking for some records. So we went in to get some public records and talk to them about the public records, and just happened to be like everything was tiny and small. We're like, oh shit, there's the judge's chambers, like right there. Like you can see everything. And it was pretty surreal being there, and realizing, of course, after Mickey Steins did the shooting, how he literally didn't have to go very far. I mean, like a couple steps, and he's at the sheriff's department holding, it's just, it was nuts. It was crazy.
Is that office back in use, or did they have it shut down?
Yeah, no, it's in use. It's in use. Yeah. So, it was a busy courthouse when we were there, although it's tiny. It's tiny. But it was surreal being there. I will tell you that the rumors from the locals is nutbaggish, to the point that I would be terrified to live there if I had information, because I tell you, the locals have stories. And it's scarier than shit. And I tried to put on my big boy pants and go into the sheriff's office and ask about a couple of suspicious deaths in the last year or two. And I got kind of stonewalled. I got basically told, no, we don't have those records. Go somewhere else, kind of thing. And it was polite. But it was like, one of the murders was an older one, and like my wife said, she wasn't with me. I walked in by myself. I told her, I said, you know what? I said, I don't need the extra pressure with you being right there, because my wife would have done something that I wouldn't have done, and she's like, I should have gone with you. But anyways, at some point, I said something about a murder or a death, and he said, well, how long ago was that one? And I said, I think that one's like 15 or 20 years. And he goes, well, I didn't work here back then. And my wife's like, you don't have a fucking computer? like that's what my wife would have said. She goes, well, why didn't you ask him? Like, that's not an answer. I didn't work here 20 years ago. Like, you look it up on a computer, dumbass. So
Jesus Christ. That's a mess.
So yeah. But anyways, hey, to be fair, they were polite. They just weren't super helpful. So
they weren't super nice.
They were, yeah. Not everybody's super nice in Letcher County, and not like Moscow, Idaho, where everybody is super nice. Yes. Pretty much everybody is super nice.
Gotcha.
So, anyways, I've done enough talking. What do you guys got for me? I mean, I can go on with other things, but what do you guys got for me?
About
anything?
Well,
anything?
It hasn't really been anything.
We've been following the Nancy.
I open it. Yeah, we've been covering kind of the Guthrie thing. Idaho 4, there hasn't been anything like groundbreaking.
Well, nothing. I mean, yeah, no, you're good. It's not groundbreaking, but I have some issues with a couple things.
Yeah.
Okay.
We all have some issues with a couple things. What do you got?
Well, recently I ran the new interview of Scott Perkey. Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus, Lee.
This is the guy that owned the house, right? The one
of the owners.
Yeah.
So with the statement that was made by this man to law enforcement, I don't know how this Gabe kid is not sitting in prison right now for this crime, to be honest with you. Okay. They picked this guy, Brian Koberger, that we all know had nothing, there's no proof that he had anything to do with this, but they're telling a story about this kid with knives and saying he was in the house and he did this and did that and blah, 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 blah. They didn't even look at him twice. It blows my mind.
Oh yeah, that's the guy. Is that the guy that he had like a mother that would berate him, and he would get mad, and he would go disappear for hours, and he'd go and if I recall, he got into an argument with Ethan and Xana at the Mad Greek restaurant.
Yes,
and unbelievable. And Maddie was there.
Even interview. There was no interview. Like, if I'd have heard this story as law enforcement, I would have swabbed this kid after we found him and tested it against all the blood that was found, all the DNA that was found, and thought, this is yours.
And didn't he admit that he had gone into somebody's house and they didn't even know he was there? Their house.
He said,
he
said he went to their house, and he actually,
and that he could have killed them all if he wanted to.
Right, he could have killed them all if he wanted to.
He followed them home from work, or followed them to the Mad Greek from the college, and then he made a statement that he was in the house and waited for them to come home, and he could have killed them all, but he didn't. So, like,
and how the fuck does that just go? Like, oh, that's kind of interesting, but we're moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
nothing to see here.
I mean, I know you're not surprised with no follow-up, but there was nothing. Like, this would have been my number one suspect in this case. They didn't even look at him.
Yeah,
right.
He had anger issues.
At least check his DNA to the unknown male DNA. At least, right? I mean,
and at that point, it was December 13th of 22 when they did the interview. I get it, but that's, again, we have Brian Koberger. We don't need anybody. I don't care if you committed the crime or not. We don't need you. You know what I mean?
And it makes you wonder too. It makes you wonder too. Is this? I don't know. I know. Obviously, we know, these girls, they were pretty girls and young or whatever. I wonder if this Gabe guy, if he's the, stalker person kind of that Kaylee said.
Well, you know what?
Could be.
I'm glad you brought that up, one, because I was thinking last night after I was reading through this report by myself again, which you should, guys, who the hell gets freaked out reading reports from a murder case at 2:00 in the morning? This guy does. Like somebody's gonna come to my door and get me or something. It's crazy. But anyway, as I was reading through it again, I'm thinking to myself, like, what did you just say? One, like, word for word. What did you just say?
Well, we heard over and over about that there was like some kind of stalker. So we know,
Okay.
we know about the guys. We know about the guys at the store or whatever, that they were vetted. They found them. They interviewed them. They were ruled out. But there's supposedly someone else that Kaylee had said she thought she was being watched, like outside when she took Murphy out. And I'm just saying, does that match?
Well, here's the thing. This kid said, well, Perky said, every time this kid's mother, by the way, her name's Lana or Alana, something in that line. Here's what he says. Every time they had a fight or she would go up on him, he would take off walking towards the college, to the college area.
Yes.
And stay out all night walking. Okay. And then show up the next morning sometimes. I see your face, Robin. It's exactly where I'm at with this. So it makes you wonder, could this kid have been standing in the tree line watching?
Well, let me break it down further what my thoughts were. And it was funny because when this kind of resurfaced with the interview, I was telling my team, I was like, man, I ranted about this like 7 months ago. I found it, by the way. I found my rant. And one of the things I pointed out was, this is what I drew the connections. This guy had it sounded like he got belittled and berated by his mother. He blamed the university for his mother becoming like a junkie because she had been raped or something like that at the university. So he had this, I think, a love-hate relationship with his mother, right? He can't fight his mother because it's his mother. But when she would belittle him or berate him, he would get angry and then go maybe stalk women on the college, right? And it's like, I'm like, this is classic serial killer MO. I can't hurt my mom, but I can hurt women who look like my mom or remind me of my mom or take my anger out on instead of on this other person instead of my mom because my mom's made me angry. And I'm like, how the fuck are you not looking at that guy?
And the thing is he would stay. Perky said that he would stay when his mother would go off on him and make these. She would call him blatantly, folks, a loser, a piece of shit. You'll never amount to anything. You're going to spend your whole life in prison, blah, 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 stuff like that. He wouldn't get upset at all. He just stayed super calm. That freaks me out.
He'd take his anger somewhere else.
He would walk away. So it makes you wonder, like this is the person. This is the kind of person that just snaps one day and fucking kills everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he had a collection of knives, right?
A large collection of large knives. Yes.
And it said that when he got into an argument at the Mad Greek with Ethan, Xana, and Maddie, that it was kind of political, and he seemed to be enjoying the fight and getting angry, like riled up. So this guy's got bad news written all over him, and the fact that it just seems like it didn't, because you don't ask questions you already know the answers to.
And if he was stalking around there, did Murphy know him?
Yeah, maybe.
That's a very good point, Robin.
Especially if he thinks he's so, he bragged. And again, here's the thing. I can't get over the whole, like, he bragged about going in, and I think didn't he say he hid in the closet, which is the same rumor that somebody had said, like, what if somebody, that there was a rumor that somebody was already in the house at 112 and they were hiding in the closet. And I think he said, I was in there, I went in the closet, I could have killed them all if I wanted to. And I'm like, this is exactly that rumor.
And think about it. And think about too, I mean, it could be coincidence, but just a few weeks before, right? Dylan describes how they all went shopping and came back and the door was wide open.
And the washing machine was running and all that,
right. And they went around, they checked the house and nothing was there. It makes you wonder, like,
maybe he was telling the truth and he was the one in that house at that point. Very good.
Yeah. It could have been like a test run or something.
Or maybe he enjoyed, scaring them and freaking them out. Like they'd come home and they'd just realize they'd been messed with, and he's getting off and terrorizing them.
And he was like 19, 20 years old. Perky described his age and had it wrong based on the birth date. We figured out he'd be about 19 or 20 years old, roughly. If you guys remember the dog that they found skinned alive, remember that? Skinned, and
Buddy.
If this guy's wandering around, carrying knives around, like, again, here's another test run of something that maybe, he goes out and stays out all damn night and comes back in the morning. What are you doing all night? Yeah. You don't know anybody else. You're not hanging out with people. It's weird shit.
Do we know the background of this guy? Like, does he have any kind of criminal background?
Oh, he does have a military background, ROTC.
He was ROTC.
Yeah, he has that.
And where's he gone since? Like, do we know where he's at now?
I think people think he's in the military because he kind of just vanished. I don't know anything else about him.
By the way, real quick for the chat, I do see a number of you saying it's good to see me back and stuff like that. So thank you very much for the well wishes, and I see those out there, so I appreciate it. Feel a little missed, and I appreciate that. I love it. So thank you. In fact, what I'll probably do after the show is I'll probably grab some screenshots for doing my fireside chat when I get some time. I'm still going to be on vacation, if you want to call it that. I'm going to still be on vacation for a little while longer, but I'll be back. But I'm going to try to get a recording in sometime here on the road. So,
and we can't find anything. I can't even find the guy's last name. We've all tried. I know lots of us have been looking to it. Him or his mother. It's driving Molly insane because usually she's pretty quick and good with. She can't find it herself. A few of us have been digging. We can't find anything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of worrisome. It's a little weird, you know. If the dude did what he did, if he did something maybe and was already pre-enlisted in the military, and then off the door he goes. He's off to who knows where. Who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Super Bowl shirt already? Somebody's like, how does Lee have a Super Bowl? I had that Super Bowl shirt the day of. No, it was the next day, actually. But
Allegheny County, Maryland Police Chief Captain. Oh, yeah. I heard about that, Kara. Probably. Thank you, dear.
Well, yeah, that so many things in the Koberger case that didn't get looked into properly. This is what is bothering all of us. Is just like, why are we assholes? Because we're saying it doesn't look like you did proper investigations. Like you didn't do policing 101. How did you rule these people out so quickly? It doesn't make any sense. And trust us, bro, isn't the fucking answer.
No, it's not. No. Not when you got somebody out here that does stuff like that.
Right. Him, and we see the document with Showalter with the state police, Idaho State Police, where they basically spell out that it's right there in the document how he lied about Floyd Cannabis shop and going to get
in the beer and
going to get beer and all that. That's like classic 101. The guy, why is he lying? I'm not saying Showalter is one of the murderers or he had anything to do with it, but why is he lying? Like,
well, I will say this. I mean, I will say this. From what I remember reading the documents, it's been a while. God, it's been a long while now. It feels like it's forever. But I feel like and I don't know if it was Moscow or if it was Idaho, but somebody kept Showalter on their radar a lot longer than we think. Because a lot of people were like, well, how'd they rule him out? But looking at the documents, they were still listing him as a suspect or
he wasn't ruled out.
Yeah, because of what you just said, because his story wasn't checking out. And so unbeknownst to a lot of us, I think they went and got more fingerprints from him or something like that, didn't they? They got a deeper level of fingerprints off of him well into the investigation, or no?
They re-fingerprinted or finally fingerprinted Decor in May of this past year, but I don't know about Showalter.
I thought Showalter was as well, but
it might be.
But it was the same with Dylan too. I mean, Dylan and Showalter were not clear, although they did a press conference and said everyone was cleared, but clearly,
let me ask you this.
From the documents they weren't.
Let me ask you a crazy question. This is I just thought this up myself. Super crazy question. I don't like even doing this sometimes. Is there any okay, how to explain this? So there's a possibility law enforcement will purposely mislead the public with a press release, for example, to let the suspect think they got away with it, right? So they'll misdirect so that the people who are out will loosen their guard. Is there any possibility in your mind that a Brian Koberger, for example, could allow them to use him as a sure I did it kind of thing, and they're still looking into people? And would if he was willing to play ball, would he allow himself to say, "Yep, I did it," and all they're waiting for is the killers just to make a mistake and slip up thinking they got away with it because the case is over? Is that a possibility?
In my mind, it is absolutely.
Yeah,
sure.
For the greater good. This is a law enforcement.
It's possible.
Order. Yes.
Yeah, and especially if it involves some kind of higher form of corruption or there are higher people involved in
But
it.
so then let's talk
Right.
about the ethics of that. Let's talk about the ethics. So let's say if that was, and again, this is all hypothetical. Let's say Brian Koberger was willing to say, I'll say I did it, even though he's kind of saying that they're like, hey, just say you did it so that we can let the real killers let their guard down and we'll get the real killers and you'll get exonerated later and we'll let you out. Even if he did that, what are the ethics to the public who have gone to the level of hating each other and calling each other names? And, you know, the Gonzalez is calling us all a bunch of losers who sit in our mom's basement making up shit and can't read court documents. If it turns out all along that the reason why it didn't make sense to us is because it was all bullshit, then what about the damage that's been done to society, letting us fight amongst each other for the quote unquote greater good of getting the killers? I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I don't know if
it's crazy. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I could see that if Brian is as into law enforcement support as he would, of course it would be for the greater good. Absolutely, I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, if it involves bringing down, if you know, as we suspect, it could involve a whole lot of people, and it involves the possibility of bringing them down. I could very well see that being allowed kind of to happen, and I could definitely see Brian wanting to be involved in doing something like that.
The whole "I can't wait to be exonerated" statement may have come from something like that too. So,
and again, let's be clear. There's no reason to believe this is happening, but if it did, then you got to ask this question: if it did happen, that we later find out it was all an agreement, and Koberger agreed to kind of pretend to be the bad guys, so the real bad guys could get caught. Can they make it up to America? Can they make it up to the world and say, "Hey, everybody, yeah, we did play with you a little bit there, but it had to be done to get the real bad guys, and now everybody can feel good because the real people have been put away"? Like, is there a way to undo the damage?
I think it would depend on who ends up being the actual perpetrators. How many of them? If there's a multiple 3 or 4 people that they have, how bad of a person these people are, and if they lock them down tight, then sure, I think it could. You know, I mean, just put it out there to the world. Like, we only did this for your own good. We did this to make sure we ensured to get the real people for this. And of course, Brian would have to play ball with that and probably make a statement as well. But I think that could help. I think people really get off. But
and since we're going on this crazy thing, let's go one step further. If there was anything possible like this could be the case, what about the families? Would they know that this is happening, or would they be duped as well? And are they going to be okay when they're like, "Hey, by the way, you were lied to. We told you we got the real guy and that you got justice and vindication, but oops, we lied to you. It was for the greater good. Here's the real person." Would the families be okay with that?
I don't think they
would be told.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't be told.
Especially Steve.
Well, they have to be told at some point that Brian's not the guy.
Right. They would have to be told if they did go after and get somebody else, but anyways, I mean,
eventually, but not till the last second.
This is probably the ridiculous level of hypotheticals that we're playing. But the point being is that it just leads to some of those questions. Like, is there ever a possibility that they could do something like that to let the real killers let their guard down? But
there's a creator out there. I said it earlier, but I will say it again. I have firsthand experience. I know for a fact. Okay, I'm involved in law enforcement. You do not have to have a criminal background.
Yeah, right. I hear this all the
as
time.
a CI. Okay, yes, if you have a history of drugs and certain elements in your past, yes, you may have. There may be a higher chance because of what you're involved with, and the people that you hang out with tend to be involved in criminal activity. So you may run in some of the same crowds, you may hear something. So yes, there may be a higher chance that someone who has a criminal background is enlisted as a CI, but you do not have to have a criminal background to be a CI. We have the info. We covered it on this show. We covered it. We have a document that proves that there is an agreement between the college and MPD. We have it. It's right there. We don't know who they are, but we have it that even shows it. You know,
That C does not stand for criminal. It stands for confidential, folks.
Correct.
That's what that means. It doesn't mean.
So it annoys me. So listen. So it bothers me. As I said, I'm not going to name who the creator is, and no, I'm
There's
not.
Been more than one.
I'm not even. And yeah, and I'm not.
There's been
I'm not
more than
talking
one
about
creator who
Pav.
said that.
Yeah, I'm not even talking. I'm not talking about Pav, but it annoys me because when there's a difference, you know, if you want to have a difference of opinion, which, you know, that's what we're here. We're brainstorming and people have different theories and different things. This is not a theory. This is an actual real life thing. You do not have to have a criminal background to be a confidential informant. So whoever's saying that, they're wrong.
Right. Yeah. And as I say, the document from like you said, the document from the University of Idaho with an agreement to embed officers in the Greek system. That was essentially what those students who worked with law enforcement were, as confidential informants, and they didn't have to have a criminal background. Right. They were just confidentially passing information along to law enforcement.
Right. They even do it. They do it in where I work in NYPD. We have confidential informants that work in all different precincts and different units that work with our internal affairs, and then we don't know who they are. I don't know. That's the whole point.
And if you think about it, it makes complete sense. Believe it or not, by the way, here's a shocker to a lot of people in America. Believe it or not, you don't have to be compelled to do the right thing. Some people want to do the right thing to do the right thing. They don't have to do it to get a plea deal or get a bargaining chip or whatever. Some people would be like, hey, there's corruption happening at my workplace and I want to help you bust these people. I'm willingly going to help you bust these people because it's the right thing to do. There are people who are like that in the world. I know it's hard to imagine. And they don't have to have a criminal background, and they could basically like, hey, I'll work with you, law enforcement, to bust what's happening in my office. And that doesn't have to be somebody with a criminal record. Not everybody does it so that they can get some kind of deal out of it. But
true.
So yeah. Oh, anyways, it's been a while. It's been a while since we talked. It's funny. I'm glad we're still getting a chance to talk about that individual that with the knife thing. That whole story just is flabbergasting. Yeah. I just
swacky.
Yeah, and it was funny because and I don't
completely away. To be honest with you, it does.
Yeah. Right. It was funny because my wife was saying, and I don't think this is the guy. So let's go. I want to make this clear when I make this story, but it was funny when I told you about how I had visited the campus, the 112 King Road residence recently, and some kid came up and puffed up on me and told me to get the fuck out of there and whatever. Right. And my wife says, well, that kid was only like in his 20s. And so if he was there, like, because I said something, well, for all you know, he could have been involved in the original murders. And it's like, well, that can't be, because he would have been in his 20s at the time it happened. And now it's been 4 years. He would have graduated, moved on. That can't be somebody that was involved with the original murders. But then I'm like, well, what about a 19-year-old ROTC guy who now would be in his 20s still? And, you know, so you don't know that the killers were all college students. You don't know that they weren't young.
Lived there. They could have lived in a different area, or they don't have to be going to that school and graduated at this point. We don't know that. Right.
That's just an assumption. Yeah, it's just an assumption.
Right. And that's like when we were growing up, you know, my brothers, they had friends who were just slightly younger than them, who weren't like college age exactly, but almost. So you know, I'm not saying that, you know, young man had anything to do with anything. I'm just saying that your older high school kids do sometimes hang out with the younger college kids.
For sure. Yeah, exactly. Even the guy that puffed up on me had a younger kid with them that was, you know, clearly younger. So that kid in a few years will be that guy's age. So I mean, it happens all the time. Right. Real quick, I'm going to take myself off camera because I'm cold. I'm going to grab a jacket. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Gifted memberships.
Very awesome.
There you go. Nice. Yeah, I can't figure out why they didn't look at that guy. I mean, he would have been the perfect.
I mean, if anything, like, I would have been
He'd be high on the list. Definitely.
Even if he didn't do it, it would have been somebody more believable to frame into this situation than Brian Koberger was. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And I can't figure out why weren't they fingerprinting people and everybody who was
Well-
there should have been fingerprinted.
Why are you fingerprinting Jack Decor if you already have Brian in on going to trial for this anyway? That's another thing I have
Right.
questions about. Like,
That's weird.
they're very
Well,
weird.
and I guess that's kind of why I went down that weird exercise of, is it possible that he agreed to the plea because they're looking for somebody else still? Because maybe they were still looking for somebody else, and maybe they want. I mean, it sounds crazy, but is it at all possible that they're still looking for somebody else and they want somebody to think they got away with it and they're still investigating the scene? But I don't know.
That makes perfect sense. It doesn't sound crazy at all to me.
And if that's the case, man, he'd have to get a pretty good payday for that shit. Or maybe, like you said, maybe some people just want to do the right thing and they're willing to do it. You know. But.
We don't really know the answer to this question. It's I've had this question too. It's come up. We don't know. But it is something there. Yes.
Yeah.
She was estranged. She was estranged in some way, right?
Yeah. That victim statement by that girl that was going to move with her to Texas said that she basically she wrote a whole statement. I guess the question was like, what is her opinion? What did she say about her family and whatever? And from what I remember, not quoting word for word, they whatever she said about the G's, they redacted out. And then there was a line where she said she basically considered her real family Maddie. Maddie was like her family. So there definitely was an issue there. What it is, we don't know.
Right.
No.
And I keep going back to something Steve had said. I think it was him that said there's going to be some ugly things that might come out and whatever. And what was that kind of thing? Like I always wanted to know what was it that he thought was going to come out that was going to be ugly about their family history or something like right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And there's rumors. There's rumors. Yeah, there's rumors out there. But anyways. But like the Idaho 4 case lives. But here I am. I'm out doing more work on other cases. And like I said, I still have a lot of stuff going on that people don't know about that I'm hoping to reveal soon. So in not only in Idaho 4, because I actually have some stuff in Idaho 4. Like I said, I got some new COPACA documents, and I'm treating that carefully, by the way, because the COPACA stuff, I realize a lot of people are just probably done talking about COPACA. They're like, look, that's a dead lead, whatever. But I'm getting new public records information, and you'd be surprised some of the stuff that's unredacted in the Pullman record. I always said Pullman's going to be more forthcoming with records than Moscow, and sure enough, there's things that they're giving me names of people we didn't know the names of in the Pullman situation, and details that we didn't know about in the Pullman situation. By the way, one thing I wanted to say about that real quick. I'm embarrassed at myself and reminding myself again, I need to stay away from fucking not enhanced audio, because I didn't enhance any audio. But remember, I told you I don't like the whole putting something on screen and whatever. And I did it. I did it in the COPACA stuff, and I made another mistake. And I'll tell you why I made a mistake. Well, first of all, I made the mistake that everybody caught me on, where it sounded like COPACA said, "Oh no, I shot an eagle," is what I said, and it was actually I shot an angel. And I was like, "Oh wow, you're right." Once I heard it right. There was one other mistake that I made. That makes me so angry at myself. I'm like, why the fuck did you just stay out of it, man? Just stop doing the speech thing. It was the beanbag comment. So I had heard, the first time I heard that, I heard the audio recording during this COPACA thing, and I heard beanbag. I heard it clearly. And then when I was doing the body cam analysis, I heard it differently, and I heard big bang, and the cops all immediately kind of started walking backwards. And then when they heard a click, they said, "Oh fuck!" Like or "Oh shit!" Like just before the explosion. I thought, yeah, they're saying big bang. Well, again, I got a new document release with the police report from the officer, and he said, "I said big beanbag," and I teach the officers that there's a clicking sound just before it goes off. So what he explained in the report was they did use explosive ferret rounds that they call beanbag rounds because it has a more non-lethal package payload in it, right? So it still is an explosive round. It still is an explosive round that exploded inside the room, but it was a more of a non-lethal type of explosive round. So he did refer to it as beanbags, but it was like a combination of both. It really was an explosive round fired in there. It wasn't just a beanbag that was shot at him. It was an explosive round filled with maybe beanbags or something, or whatever the case may be. He literally wrote in the report, I said beanbag, beanbag, beanbag. I was like, well, shit. I thought I heard big bang, big bang, big bang the second one. And they all stepped back and went, shit, like there's a big bang coming in. That's what you heard is a big bang that happened afterwards. And so I'm like, hey, that's what it said. Well, I should just stay the fuck out of trying to tell people what I think I heard.
It happens to the best of us.
We got some
Thank you
memberships.
yeah, thanks to Jules Down Under for gifting 5 memberships.
Thank you. Appreciate that very much for our channel, for getting some nice gifts. Hopefully somebody got those and picked those up. I appreciate that. But anyways, yeah, that's another one of the reasons why I don't like in the audio thing, because again, once you tell somebody what they're going to hear, that's what they hear. It is what it is. Does it really effectively change much about that encounter? It doesn't. Oh, but there was one surprise in the write-up of the police report. Here's the other surprise. He wrote that he did that beanbag comment twice. Once at about 1:40 in the morning, and once again at 3 in the morning, because they had fired canisters twice at him, and so that was a surprise to me. I only heard one, but apparently they did it twice, and I'll just leave it at this. There's some questions about the timeline about when things happened. So having them do it twice can lead to some fuckery with the audio.
Yep.
But we'll leave it with that. But, yeah.
Thanks. All right.
What else do we have?
We've been following the Nancy case.
Yeah. We did cover it the last 2 days a little bit, and that's like, I don't know if you saw anything on it.
The Nancy Guthrie.
It's super. Yeah,
I saw the thing about the Ring camera, and there was talk about how they almost didn't think that they could recover the camera, but due to some kind of files not being overwritten, they were managed to be able to find a few frames or whatever of the abductor, or who they believe was the abductor, and a ski mask and stuff like that. So I saw that, but. Do we have proof of life on this individual? I can't remember.
No proof of life.
There hasn't.
No proof of life. What was it? 3 ransom? No, 3 different ransom things.
3 ransom notes now.
Yeah, and then supposedly TMZ received another note where they're saying that they know it's not really a ransom note, though. It's kind of like, I know who the kidnapper is, and I'll tell you. I'll tell you who it is for one Bitcoin, which is $67,000, I guess. So, and it went to TMZ. Like, none of these messages have been sent to the family. They're going to networks, and it's very weird.
It doesn't fit like a normal ransom. The whole thing is fishy.
Yeah,
spending 41 minutes there. Usually, you go in, get out quick. It's just,
we haven't heard anything from the family in 2 days now, solid, and really nothing from anybody else about anything about Nancy. That's the weird part. So
I don't know. The whole thing's just weird. A lot of it doesn't make any sense at all. Here we go again.
Right.
Yeah.
So and Dago, I watched the video again that they released. That they put on the official video. I know. Yeah. I know people are doing all kinds of. This is what happens with this stuff. With the color AI, people color in, they add in stuff, they do all kinds of nonsense, which is really a disservice. I don't know why people have to do that.
I agree.
If you watch the video again, actually, my wife brought it to my attention. If you notice when the guy walks up and then he walks back and he's near the shrubbery, it looks like he has like his left knee or left leg, like he has some kind of injury or something.
Yeah, if you somebody pointed that out to me. I saw that.
Yeah,
I pointed out today because I've watched that video 1,000 times now. Just watching him walk up, and I said to them today at Discord, I said, it's bothering me, but it looks like when he walks up, first comes through the archway, he puts his head down, which I'm giving. He doesn't want his face seen, but it almost looks like he hesitates, like he doesn't want to do it. If you watch that and you look at him, it's almost like he's like, oh man, I don't know if I want to do this. That type of a reaction he seems to be having. Now that could just be me seeing that, but that's how I keep. Now that I'm seeing this, that's what I keep seeing. It's like he hesitates. He looks both, which I get that too, but it just I get a feeling like he's like standoffish with doing this. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm getting that feeling with this, but
so the bit. Go ahead, Robin.
Well, if this is just a weird theory, I guess, but if he knew somebody else was going around back,
that's
was
my
he
thought,
purposely there just to kind of throw
distract
people off?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what they said to me at chat today.
I mean, because picking up plants, I mean, that takes time. You're picking up these plants out of the planter. You're going back up to the door. I mean, the whole thing is just weird. I'm thinking that maybe that dude was some kind of a decoy.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, and someone did go in the back because they said there were cameras and lights smashed in the back. They haven't released any video from that. But.
That could have been a decoy while the person that's actually doing the more, because this person is so unprofessional in the front door, but whoever's went in the other direction, I think would be the more professional person.
I watched something. I saw something earlier that said that guy Tommaso. So that's the son-in-law, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That he had that again. Doesn't mean anything, but that he has some kind of gambling debt as well. I was watching.
I've heard that too.
I was reading something. I don't know, if that's accurate or not.
Guys, can I switch topics though? This is
yeah.
I forgot to tell you something. And we don't even talk about it a lot anymore. So Charlie Kirk's assassination is where I'm talking about. So I happen to have a conversation with somebody who dropped a bomb on me. He's like, hey, are you still covering the Charlie Kirk situation? It was my buddy who I'd grown up with, who stayed at his house before taking a flight. And he dropped a bomb on me like, have I been out of the conversation so long? I don't remember. Out of all the talk, you remember back in the first 3 weeks of that assassination, you would have snipers coming on arguing about whether or not a 30-06 would take someone's head off or not, and how it's not possible that it was a 30-06 and whatever. In all those discussions, I don't remember a single person talking about frangible rounds. Did you remember hearing anything about frangible rounds? I didn't fucking know this, and this is insane. No. A frangible round is a round that's designed to powderize as soon as it hits its target. It's done in training a lot. And it's World War II type stuff. That rifle was an old World War II type rifle. A frangible round was designed to explode and powderize and not cause massive amounts of damage. And I looked it up online. It's a total thing. And so they said, if here's the thing, if he was shot with a frangible round, it would have caused huge cavitation in the neck, which is what you see, and an explosion at the side. And why it wouldn't have blown his head off, because it wasn't a typical round. It was a frangible round. Now, here's the counter to that. If it was a frangible round, there's two possible explanations, because it wasn't a common round. It was just a training round. So did, for example, the shooter really borrow his grandpa's old World War II type rifle that happened to have some training rounds and he just didn't realize it was a frangible round? Or they said an assassin might actually use on purpose a frangible round for other reasons, which is to avoid damage to other people and things like that if the wrong target got hit. So then it becomes, is that more indication of an assassin if it was a frangible round, or is it just coincidentally the old man's gun with old training ammo that Tyler Robinson used? But anyways, I thought I'd never even heard that discussion. Is that the first time I'd heard that discussion?
Yeah, I've never heard that.
That's really interesting too.
Interesting. It is interesting.
Yeah, if anybody's interested, look up frangible rounds. It's a real thing, and it's crazy, and it may explain how a 30-06 wouldn't take your head off, because a frangible round's designed to do just that. It's just designed to powderize when it hits something. So
that's interesting. Wild. Definitely wild.
And by the way, I heard in addition, one more thing about that, and then we can move on to whatever the fuck you want to talk about. But supposedly that whole doctor that started the whole rumor of Charlie Kirk's spine was hardened by Jesus or God or whatever and caused a miracle or whatever. He never said anything like that. And I guess he got pissed. And like, I never said anything remotely close to that. It's all been spun out of control on mainstream media and offline sources. Supposedly he's come out and said, I never said that. So I don't know if that's true or not, but.
Gotcha.
Well, I don't blame him for being mad if he didn't say it, because I mean that could put his career in jeopardy.
Of course.
You know, a lot of other medicals in the profession would be like, "What is he smoking?"
You're
You know,
right.
doesn't work like that,
Exactly.
you know.
Right. So it's just interesting that frangible round thing was a shocker to me. It was like, how did I miss anybody? I don't remember a single person talking about frangible rounds.
I've never heard that before today.
I'd never heard of it, but I looked it up online, and it's a thing. It's a real round that's designed to powderize. It's
very
crazy.
interesting.
Yeah.
Now this says that type of round is primarily used for indoor training, close quarters battle, and home defense.
Yes, in fact, the way it was explained to me was, he said cops, but he said when you're trained to, like, if you were trained to draw your pistol and shoot somebody at close range, they would practice that a frangible round against like a metal plate at close range, and rather than having any risk of ricochet or whatever, it just would powderize and it'd hit the thing. So they would make this round specifically so they could practice close shooting of like just quick draw and shoot somebody right in front of you kind of thing, and therefore the round had to be like powderized so that it wouldn't ricochet and hurt somebody kind of thing. And so that was supposedly part of the explanation for why the round was developed in the first place. But
so is that something you would use in a rifle, like for long distance like that?
Right. There was reasons why it was used for training in particular. It was right. There were certain circumstances in which it was used. So that and again, that became part of the argument for and against, which is if the old man, for example, really had a rifle that had some training rounds around, and that's just Tyler just accidentally grabbed some or didn't know it or whatever the case may be, then could explain it. But then they're also saying that round is not common anymore. It's a thing, but it's real uncommon, which could indicate that an assassin picked that round for the very specific characteristics that it had that hardly anybody knows about. So it could go either way, you know.
Okay.
So
that's very interesting.
It was crazy, yeah. Look, somebody in here says a Navy SEAL and Jesse on Fire YouTube tested frangible rounds and normal rounds with that type of gun, and it did extensive damage on the hardest animal bone, and it blew up. Oh, so even the frangible round, interesting. So again, it sounds like somebody did start talking about frangible rounds. I didn't even knew it was a thing.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
JJ said, back a little bit, I'm trying to find it where he said it. I guess the FBI tested that out too.
Yeah, the frangible rounds.
There it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I had never heard of it.
Yeah.
Ever.
Interesting. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how I missed that. And all the discussions that we had about whether or not it's an exit wound or whether it's an entrance wound and whether it would or would not blown his head clean off, and whether, I don't remember anybody ever back in those days talking about frangible rounds, but maybe we did. And
no.
I know I never did, because I never even heard of them.
Yeah. Well, you see, you learn something new every day.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
what they say.
Definitely every day, for sure.
Somebody had said something about calling all angels. This is the second time I've seen it. What is calling all angels? That's a reference to something, and why am I missing it?
I don't know what that is.
I know it's a reference to calling all angels. Anyways, they're gonna have to fill me in because it's on the tip of my tongue, and I don't remember what the connotation is for it. But
the only thing I can think of is Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of right away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I'm say that on that show. Did they call in all angels?
No, they didn't.
Oh, okay. JJ said the FBI didn't test it. Others tested them to counter FBI claims. Gotcha, buddy.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Erica's orphanage. Oh, okay. I see what you guys were talking about now.
Yeah, calling all angels. It's a line from was it a Train song or?
Yeah.
Somebody else said the same thing. A train song.
It's a train song.
Yeah.
But why are they mentioning it? Like what is the reference to that they were trying to make for?
I think has something to do
It
with.
says it inspired by a conversation about balancing our inner angels and traitors. The song is a plea for guidance, hope, and the strength to not give up in a chaotic world. It signifies often a secular cry for help, comfort, or a sign of hope in a dark age or when feeling lost.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Cool. Well, I mean, I recognized the line from the train song, but I couldn't put together what they. Oh, and is it in Drops of Jupiter? I love Drops of Jupiter. Anyways, I could side tangent about Drops of Jupiter, but I'll try not to because it has nothing to fucking do whatsoever with true crime.
Yep.
Anyway, so yeah, so I'm just I don't have anything else special, so I mean, we don't have to force the show along for another hour if we don't have anything. I just thought I wanted to be able to check in from the road because I happened to be in a position where I could do so, and wanted to let people know why I've been gone and stuff like that. I am working.
Yeah.
So I am working, even though I say I'm on vacation. I'm more like working. So
Yeah.
somebody has something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can invite people to come up. Does anybody want to come up on screen and ask questions? Somebody says I have something.
I'll throw the
Sarah Karwowski.
Yeah,
exactly. That right, Sarah Karwowski.
See if they want to come up on stream. If not, type it into the chat and we'll talk about it.
Yep, I threw the link out.
For Idaho 4, has a
anybody's
Jeff Plummer ever been? What was it? For Idaho 4, has a Jeff Plummer ever been talked to? I don't recognize Jeff Plummer's name.
Yeah.
I don't recall hearing the name Jeff Plummer in context with the case.
I don't either.
No.
Where did I watch the Super Bowl? I watched it from home. I was so excited. I had to, you know how painful it was, by the way, because we often play cards, and they wanted to play cards at my house during the Super Bowl, and I almost said, "Fuck no, we're not playing cards. I'm watching the Super Bowl." But my wife convinced me that nobody coming to play cards gives a shit about football, so they're not going to tell me the score. And so I literally told everybody, your phones go away. Nobody's allowed to even get on their phone to check a message, nothing. I don't want to hear shit. And so it was painful. Like, I kept reaching for my phone to check on things, and I'm like, no, don't, because I didn't want to. I was going to check on something else, but I'm like, I managed to somehow avoid it. I watched like a quarter of the game before we had cards, and then I watched the rest of the game after they left for cards, and I pulled it off. I got to see my game without knowing who won, so it was awesome.
Good stuff.
Good
deal.
And I was super stoked. And be careful. Yeah.
I was just going to say I was grateful the Patriots didn't win again, so I'm very happy the Seahawks won.
Yep.
I was going to say be very careful, people, about these heartstring stories. I saw a heartstring story about Coach Mike McDonald from the Seahawks, and it brought tears to the eyes. And then I realized when I read it, I was like, that's not even that can't even fucking be real. So after I got a hold of my emotions, like, what a story. I was like, matter of fact, what a story. It doesn't fucking sound believable. And sure enough, it's clickbaiters who fucking play on, and they make up great. So they take a screenshot. There was a picture of Mike McDonald and some kid with both with tears in their eyes. And they made this whole story about how he changed this kid's life and mentored him as a child. The whole story is complete bullshit. They just took a freeze frame of a picture and made a story to it. And I bought it for like a dumbass. And I was like, wait a minute. I mean, after I had bought it, I said, wait a minute. That's too good of a story to be true. And sure enough, not true. Just fucking clickbait bullshit. So just fucking keep in mind that's how they do shit, you know.
It happens a lot too. A whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so why is JJ's in the chat but he's not on the panel? What happened to JJ for the show tonight?
I don't know what he's doing tonight.
No clue.
I don't know if
he said he wasn't going to be able to be on.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's I mean, yeah, the guy's allowed a day off or something. It's okay with that.
Yeah, you know. Once in a while.
But Logan, I don't know. I don't know if Logan's allowed a day off. So what the fuck is Logan not being here?
I don't know.
She's got her own channel.
Yeah.
Yep.
She said she'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep. What else do I have to tell you? Yeah, I don't know. By the way, so here's a random bit of trivia, not related to Idaho 4 or any true crime, but when we got into Kentucky, there was the Kentucky Derby sound that that
Yeah.
fucking whatever the hell it is,
Yeah.
that went off at the airport. And so this guy at the checkout counter for the rental car where we were getting said, "Uh-oh, here we go." And I'm like, "What was that? Like, is that the baggage claim coming in? Because we're waiting for our bags." And he's no, that's what we play when a new flight arrives. So they play the Kentucky Derby song whenever a flight lands, because then all the like car dealerships have to know that they have to be ready for a bunch of car handouts as people come in off the plane. I don't know. I just thought it was weird that
crazy.
They play the Kentucky Derby song.
That is crazy as hell.
I just pick up on random trivia.
I didn't hear
What's
that
this?
Cat's Mojo of black glove.
Where did they find
found.
the glove? Where did they find
There was a black glove found by
near the house?
Yeah, it's out in the area that they were searching near Annie's house.
Is it a match for Idaho 4?
No, but somebody touched McDonough there because it's a black nitrile glove, just like the one that the perpetrator in the picture was wearing.
Man, and Lee, you got to hear what they did to this guy what they did to this person of interest last night.
Tell that
man.
story.
This guy was followed, and he stopped the car because he realized he was being followed. They held him for 2 hours. Didn't really tell him much of anything, Then they went to his house.
They held him from 4:00 in the afternoon until midnight.
I mean,
they only held him 2 hours.
Initially.
Yeah, they didn't tell him. They didn't even read him his rights for the first 2 hours. That's what you were saying. Yeah.
Wow.
And he was asking. He says after like 15 to 20 minutes, he was asking for a lawyer, and he pleaded the fifth, and they got like pissed off, and then they raided his house and all this stuff, and it's not even the guy. So he's gonna have a nice lawsuit.
Big time.
I wish. By the way, go ahead.
He had it at some point, like delivered. That's what he did. He delivered packages, and at some point, apparently, he may have delivered a package to Nancy Guthrie's house, and so that's kind of how they tracked him down. But he's like, she wasn't at his house, at the mother-in-law's house or anything. So they let him go. So.
Yep. And the only thing which caught my attention, but then he said about a white van he drives, but it's got, I think it's called GIL all over the side of it. You can't miss any sense.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, thank God. Because they said before that there was a plain white van driving around the neighborhood days before, but it's plain white. There's no markings on it, so they don't match. But yeah. Right. He's going to have one hell of a lawsuit, in my opinion.
And I was gonna go on my little personal rant. I've heard an attorney I really like say, people don't ask for a lawyer unless they're guilty, and I think that's the worst thing. It's the worst thing. Especially, I'm disappointed hearing an attorney say that, because I will tell you right now, if I ever even sniff that officers are suspecting me of being involved in something, I'm immediately lawyering up. And I don't care if I fucking had anything to do with it. If I even got a hint that the question is suggestive, like, where were you? I would need a lawyer. Because I don't care if I went to the gas station, lawyer. I'm not answering those kind of questions. So,
no.
But I don't think you need to be guilty. I think you just need to be smart. It's not a good thing to necessarily to put yourself where, especially if you're the kind of person that says dumb things, and you can incriminate yourself on something you didn't even do because you just chose poor wording. So don't stick yourself in that. That's my advice. Don't stick yourself in that situation. But that's my advice. I don't know if all police officers, I'm sure lots of police officers would just let something go if a person would just answer quickly and be done with it and they can move on. Maybe that's true. But in general, if it looks like you're a suspect of something, or you're being interrogated about something, man, I would lawyer up in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I'd say don't answer any questions.
Yeah.
Right? If you're being brought back to the station, or you're being,
And I think you can do that politely. I mean, I would imagine, you tell me one, I would imagine if it's not what you say, it's how you say it. If you were to do it politely and to say, hey, I really don't feel comfortable answering questions. I'd like to have an attorney, that they're not going to get mad at you for that. They'll be like, hey, okay, good. We're done talking then. I mean, it should be just business. It shouldn't be a personal insult kind of thing,
Right. And you can't really argue about it now because there's all kinds of body cameras, and so
yep. So that's my recommendation, is just always be on the safe side, because again, and I know the logic is, if you didn't do anything wrong, then there's no reason to not tell them, kind of thing. But it only takes you to have one thing that didn't make sense that you did weird in your day, and all of a sudden you're a suspect, and it looks like you did something guilty, and you might have just done something weird that was just weird, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that does look bad in retrospect, but it's too late. Like once you've done something weird that can't be explained, then all of a sudden you're a suspect.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Or if you misremember something, I mean,
right.
I do agree.
Well, I thought you said it was 3 o'clock that you went there. Now you're saying it's 2 o'clock. Yeah. Well, shit, my memory sucks.
Yeah.
So, and the more intimidated I get,
even if you're stargazing, you can't even go stargazing.
Yeah, you can't.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I do weird things like go for a drive in the middle of the night because I just want to, let off some steam and get out of the house, kind of thing, and that's apparently enough to be suspicious of murder. Nobody drives their car at 3 a.m. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's a good point. Panda Desert has. I was going to bring that up too. The warrant that they had served on Carlos Palazuela, I think is his last name. I can't say it right. They were looking for, and it's specified in the warrant, medications belonging to the victim, medical devices, things like that. Like what? So here's the thing. We were told with that the medications were left at the house, right?
Yeah.
Which is why they were so worried about Nancy, because they didn't have the medication. But why are you looking for then medications and medical devices that could belong to the victim? So like what? So it almost and they knew that. They knew that. So
here again, misinformation right out of the gate.
Well, like Lana covered it too. They knew this. Yeah. They knew this already. They lied.
Yeah, they knew it. They knew it already. They just didn't tell us. Yeah,
it's crazy. It is crazy.
I don't know if they ever tell the truth about things, and it's like the go-to thing to just kind of lie about things and hide things and whatever. It's like the go-to thing, and then you wonder why people's trust is being eroded.
Yep.
And again, no offense with one, but like people's trust in law enforcement gets eroded every time they treat people like you don't need to know the truth, and we don't have to be transparent with you, and we'll ask you questions when we want to know something, but otherwise shut the hell up. Like that whole thing just creates barriers between people.
Well, if you
it doesn't make us trust the system.
You're right, 100%. If you think back through from the beginning, you guys, they told us they couldn't get video. Remember?
Yeah.
Then they got video. They told us the medications were left behind. Now they're looking for them and medical devices and stuff. It's like, what's next? Oh, by the way, you know where Nancy's at. We just didn't know where she was. What the hell are you talking? You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I'm expecting that to be next. Jesus Christ. Stop telling lies. Be honest with us. That's all you got to do. Or don't tell us shit. Leave it
or just say we can't say right now. That's it. That would be right. Instead of telling a lie, just say you can't say.
100%.
The big thing they're probably working on is the geofencing. Unless, I mean, this guy does not seem to be a professional that was walked up to the house. So there's a lot of ways you could have blinded the IR sensor and the camera. Having a gun in a holster that doesn't even match the firearm, and how he had the firearm too dangling in the front.
I think it's a BB gun. I think it's a BB gun.
Yeah. But to be in the house for 41 minutes, if any of them, if they had their cell phone, if they received any kind of text, phone call, anything, and again, like granted, yes, it's a big area, right? They have to look, but this is it's somewhat of a remote type area. It's late late at night. It's not going to be the same as like being in the middle of like New York City or LA. So they're going to look at anyone that received phone calls or texts during that time.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's got to be, so they damaged the cameras, but there's got to be, no one else has any other camera or footage of a vehicle. I mean, I don't think they carried
How did
her
they
on,
get her out
on
of
their
there?
back.
That's what
Exactly.
I mean. How did they get her out of there?
There's got to be some kind of vehicles around somewhere.
And I think they know that, and it's there. What the fuck?
What equipment did they take? What
That's
equipment
what
are
we
they
don't
looking
know. They
for?
just said medical devices they're looking for. So to me, it means that there might be something else wrong with her that we didn't know. Or, I
Yeah.
mean, whatever, if she got sleep apnea or something like that. But here's the thing. If they took stuff like that, that means they were planning on keeping her alive and healthy.
Live.
Okay. Which is still, you don't see kidnappers go, okay, let's make sure we get her medication, her CPAP machine, her walker, her this, her that. Like, this is weird. It's just weird.
So that kind of info that we have now, that the search warrant was looking for medical and medical devices.
Yeah.
This means that this had to be someone that was aware of that, was aware of her ailments. So turns away now that this was a crime of opportunity. This is like some random, some random burglar or whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah. It had to be someone that knew more about her. That's what it says to me.
Right.
And we still really don't know if she's alive or dead. So
no.
And who would know about her ailments but her family?
Right.
And we talked earlier about a visiting nurse aide that may be coming to healthcare aide. I said this earlier. It would make sense to me if she had a healthcare aide that may have stopped in a couple days a week, maybe. Say for instance, and this was just an ideal that if she did have that, maybe that health aide has a spouse or a partner or something that got a good idea and said, "You're working for who? Nancy, that's Savannah's daughter. We could get rich off this," or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's just a thought. Sorry, Lee, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, that's all right. No, I was just going to comment that a lot of people are saying, and yet this all feels like it's just a distraction, right? So if some people were like, well, if they don't want us focused on the Epstein files, you have some big name come out and everybody spends all their time talking about this case doesn't make sense, and all of a sudden nobody's talking about the big issue that they don't want you talking about, which could be something else. So is it all just a big distraction thing?
Yes, and that's a whole that's a whole big thing. Because
there's other big stuff going on.
The whole Epstein thing, which is going to be ongoing for a while, that how it's deep roots to all the dark web and all the dark shit going on. I'm hearing that it's going to greatly affect Bitcoin. That it's going to almost we'll see what happens. I was watching a show the other day. I mean, it's basically saying that it's going to make Bitcoin almost like go to nothing if the full stuff like comes out.
Bitcoin is in the shitter right now and has been in the shitter for a while. I know because I happen to have some in the Bitcoin, and it was in the shitter already. And in fact, if anything, that was one of the things that made me perk up interested when the person wanted to be paid in Bitcoin. Is like funny that they're asking to get paid in Bitcoin when it's at an all-time low again, for not an all-time low, but a very, very low point, because this would be a great time to buy into Bitcoin if you believe that it's going to bounce back, because you can buy it way cheaper right now because it's crashed. So makes you think then it makes you think, how high can this go? Did the crash happen because somebody wanted to buy low and get a payoff when Bitcoin was depressed, and then so did somebody with power create a dump in the market, then come up with this thing so they could buy a crap ton of crypto at a low price, so that when it comes back up, they make tons and tons and tons of money?
No one would ever do that.
No. Manipulate markets and shit. No.
Yeah,
it's a good thing that's not illegal.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, I don't know.
There's definitely some fuckery going on with this one for sure.
Didn't we just
Yeah.
offer people to come up on stage? Like, here's the thing that kills me. This is what kills me. I have people telling me all the time, why don't you do what other channels do and have a call-in show? And I'm like, I can't tell you the number of times we've thrown our link up and asked people to come up and no one does. I can't do anything else. So people are like, why don't you do what other channels do and have a call-in show? Like, it doesn't work for me. I don't know. It may be, to be fair, it might be because people say DA never shuts the fuck up. So why is the point of going on his show? Because he'll just talk over you anyways. So maybe that's it. I don't know.
I heard a rumor. I don't know if you guys followed the Murdaugh trial, but I heard there's a new trial coming for him, possibly.
Really?
I heard that there should be that, but I didn't hear they had done it. But yeah,
I don't know if it's happening for sure. I just heard about that.
We got to reach out to Allie.
I know.
Yeah.
Gosh, she's
I
so
still want to
busy.
hear her. I still want to hear. I know. I still want to hear what she has to say about the Luigi stuff. I know she put like a TikTok thing out, but
yeah. Have you guys seen WSU's response to the family's lawsuit against them? Is there a new response? All I knew is they moved the jurisdiction to the east side of the state. Have they responded in any other way? I don't remember if they have. I feel like I'm out of touch. I've been gone for 2 days. I don't know what the fuck's going on in Idaho.
There really
all I know is that people are
different.
super nice there. That's all.
yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much people are super nice.
That's
I gotta tell you, going back to Letcher, because like I said, I spent time in Kentucky. It's a scary fucking county out here. I'm telling you what, it's a scary county with the rumors that go around. Scary place to be.
You think it's worse than Idaho?
Yes. I think it's
sounds
worse
like
than
it.
Idaho.
That's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah.
Scary level of bad. So I don't know,
Couldn't even
man.
imagine.
Let me see something here. Give me a minute. I think I might have a bit of an answer for you guys on something. 1 second.
Okay, while you're looking that up, what's the answer? Does anybody know? Has the Supreme Court had the appellate courts decided on whether they're going to hear Richard Allen's appeal on the Delphi case? Because I know it was submitted for appeal, but have the courts decided that they're going to make any kind of ruling? Are we still waiting for the appellate courts to decide whether they're going to make a ruling on that? I mean, they're going to make some kind of ruling, but have they done anything?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
So I think what they're talking about with WSU is that WSU answers the complaint, leaves open the possibility of suing the plaintiffs, Goncalves, etc., so on and so forth. So I don't know. I'm going to have to look into the actual answer itself, the document, to read into it. But that's what somebody put out earlier today. And she's usually pretty on point with what she reads document-wise. Let's see.
I'm doing a quick check to see if there's anything on the on that appeal of Richard Allen, by the way, is a separate thing. I know we got two different topics at the same time. As far as this goes, as of February 2026, the appellate court has not made a decision yet on Richard Allen's appeal.
It's JJ talking about Cobain.
It's
Private messages, JJ.
Do you guys, so this is a question from somebody, let's talk about this for a moment, because we always talk Idaho for, do you guys think Richard Allen is guilty or not? Do we want to do a roundtable real quick? Robin, do you think Richard Allen's guilty?
No, I do not.
Just categorically, you don't think he's guilty. And what do you think?
Nope.
After seeing the further info and the stuff that Dago covered, he went back over it. I just knew like some basic stuff, but then when we started covering it and I watched some of the documentaries and some of the interviews and all the stuff, it doesn't even seem like the bridge guy, in my opinion, is even Richard Allen. I don't even if Bridge Guy is, we don't even know if Bridge Guy is the killer. But to me, I don't even think Bridge Guy is Richard Allen. I think it's someone else. It's
Yeah.
And Dago, do you have a definitive? You don't think he did or he did do it?
By no means whatsoever in hell did that man do that. He's absolutely not the bridge guy. Richard Allen has nothing to do with this crime whatsoever, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I'll stand on the hill and die there. Just saying.
And I feel like that's where I'm at as well. I reading the appeal, it's one of those things that when you read the appeal, you're like, they completely fucked that guy. Like that there's just there's no question that and I didn't follow the original case, but I've said it before. When I watched the original footage that came out of his interrogation, I always felt that he came across as sincere of not knowing what the fuck they're talking about, and they just bulldozed him. And he's like, I don't. You can do whatever you want all day long. Right. You're not going to find anything because I wasn't there. And I was like, that's the kind of shit that I would say. I'm like, you can look all day. I don't give a fuck what you think you have. You can look all day long. You're not going to find anything because I wasn't there. And that was his attitude. People are like, yeah, he's just a really good liar. I'm like, no, that's how I would sound if I didn't do shit.
Oh my God. The guy worked in the town for 5 years before this all went down with that stupid picture up all over town. He worked in the damn pharmacy, you guys, and nobody even looked at him twice until all of a sudden the day that happened. So no way in hell. And Richard Allen is 5'4". Now, first off, I'm like, I agree with 1-1. We don't even know that Bridge guy is the guy that killed these people, these girls. Right. Okay. But that alone, Richard Allen's 5'4". The guy on the bridge is between 5'10" and 6 foot tall. They're not even close. They're not even close. So it's a joke.
It is, and I tend to agree with those things. That I'm really interested to see how that works. And by the way, did we miss some? No, we didn't. No, sorry. But yeah, I'm excited to see how the appeal goes because I feel like it's one of those situations where people again they made up their mind too quickly. They bought in the mainstream narrative. And I'm going to say one more thing too. Like this is the sad part. People lose their ability to think clearly when children are involved. And so as soon as it became somebody killed 2 kids, it was like, we need justice for those poor little girls. And it doesn't even matter anymore if we get the right person. It's just like, well, somebody, it's like, you just lose your mind when there's kids involved. And people just stop thinking clearly. And so their bloodlust and desire to hold somebody accountable again seems to override getting it right. It seems like too many times.
Yeah, I know. I to answer a question and said there was none of his DNA found on anything. Richard Allen's DNA was not found on anything, and none of their DNA was found on anything that he owns. Just like with Idaho, there's nothing there but a bullet, folks. That was not even like done the right way, for lack of better terms. But yeah, there's nothing there that links this man to this crime because he was there. What about everybody else that was there that day? You know what I mean? You didn't see them dragging them in or talking to them or accusing them. But all the people that could have done it, they're not even looking at them twice. Yeah. It blows my mind.
Amanda backstage is blowing us up about a new filing that came out just today in the Idaho thing. But I don't know if we can get that live while we're on the air here or not.
Is it in the new documents or is it in the?
She says it's a court listener, February.
The court listener, something that filed today on a response to WSU.
Oh yeah, that's what I had, but okay.
She says
it has to be purchased. So I have a Pacer account for purchase, but is court listener. I don't know if I have a court listener purchase account.
Well, I had the transcript. If you didn't want to have to pay for that, I had the transcript. Kathy had it from Kathy Indie Zone, and she read the whole thing. I could read the transcript to you.
Is it long or?
I could condense it.
Yeah, go ahead and condense it and tell us what the highlights are.
Hold on a minute. Let me give it to you. Pull it back up because I didn't know. That way you don't have to worry about paying for it unless Amanda wanted to do it a different way. It's up to you guys.
Yeah, we probably will because we're starting to make a document repository on our side, so we will probably get it eventually. But I'm just if we want to talk about it tonight, we can get it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Give me 1 second here to pull this up. I got to pull the transcript back up real fast.
Court listeners for free. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. Silence on Chain said court listeners free. I thought that as well. Pacer requires you to pay a small fee for, but I didn't think court listener did. But
got you. Well, give me 1 second here. Transcript.
You're doing it live.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's how seems like how we roll lately.
Yeah. It's all right.
Okay, where is your give me the transcript? There. I'm sorry, guys. Where the hell did it go? I just had it pulled up.
I know how that goes. See, I get rattled, and then I get worse. The more rattled I get, the worse I get.
Yep. Where the hell did it go? I just had it in my hand, literally. Oh my god.
You talk about the document or something else?
It's a transcript from. She read the document live, which you can play that too, but it's and she's got a legal background, so she kind of understands it all. I just had it pulled up and was getting ready to read it to you, and I took it down because I thought you guys were pulling something else up, and now I can't get it back up here.
Now, Cat's Mojo, she just typed, I don't know if it's in relation. First hearing before Judge Emerson on the defense motion to transfer venue is set for the 27th. If that's all it was, then it's just a procedural.
Just basically explained a little bit more, like I was saying, how the response about suing the plaintiffs and stuff like that would unfold per se, but it won't come back up for me for some reason now. I don't know what I did.
Scroll up and read more, she says. Okay, hold on. From WSU answers and affirmative defenses filed this date, Gonzalez et al. Okay, hold on. I got to go back for. All right, I got to go further. Cat's got a whole bunch of stuff. WSU suggests there might be other third parties, people and entities liable besides Mr. Koberger. What?
Oh, okay.
What? WSU suggests there might be other parties or people involved besides Koberger. Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. And that's what I was saying. But that may come to light through discovery, a civil litigation tool, and investigate. That would be huge if you're reading that right. Let's see. That would be enormous. Yeah. And look, before I finish the rest of her comment, this is exactly what I said. If I were WSU, I'd be like, well, wait a minute. Maybe it wasn't a lone killer, and so you can't sue us for shit because he wasn't the only one who did it. Now they're actually incentivized to fight the story, the narrative. They're incentivized to fight it because that story's costing them a fortune, right?
Yeah,
right. Definitely.
But doesn't clarify whether this was WSU's investigation or law enforcement's. So law enforcement could be doing an investigation into the possibility that's more than one person. Puts the plaintiffs on notice of possible counterclaims against them.
There's that.
Counterclaims against them. Oh my God.
That's what I was referring to.
So okay, I don't know if it's true, and I shouldn't get terribly excited about something I don't know it's true, right? But it sounds like what she's saying is WSU basically said, okay, you're suing us on this whole we didn't stop the lone killer, but we think there's a possibility it wasn't a lone killer, and we'll countersue you if you're wrong, kind of thing. It sounds like that's kind of like that kind of posturing, which would be super fucking interesting.
Okay, here we go. I got some.
You got it?
Read you. Okay, so what they're saying here, affirmative defense number 1, by way of further answer and first affirmative defense, defendant alleges that plaintiff's damages and or injuries, if any, were caused by the fault of a non-party for the purpose of, and then the statute is stated here, including but not limited to Brian Koberger and or other individuals, entities that may become apparent through ongoing investigation and discovery. Defendant reserves the right to identify additional individuals and entities in this matter. So it appears what the defense is saying here is, first off, if you have any damages that were caused for purpose of the statute by not us, the fault of at least one non-party, including but not limited to Mr. Koberger, and then or other. Hold on, I gotta let it scroll down a little bit more. Oh, it jumped down.
This is becoming super, super, super interesting to me because I think Howard Bloom knew something when he said, hey, I'm beginning to think Koberger may not have done it alone. And then all of a sudden mainstream media started saying, hey, is it possible that Koberger didn't do it alone? And now WSU is saying, hey, by the way, ongoing investigations suggest that Koberger may not have done it alone. Holy shit! All of a sudden, everybody's getting on board with the hey, maybe he didn't do it alone, which
we said
may
this.
shift to maybe he didn't do it at all and somebody else did it.
Yeah, it's
Right.
okay. So it says with other individuals, entities that may become apparent through ongoing investigation and discovery. It's unclear what ongoing investigation is stated here. Is he talking ongoing investigation within this case? Talking about ongoing investigation by law enforcement. It is unclear now. Discovery is a completely different matter, and discovery is something that is a civil tool that will happen in this case. It can include such things as taking of depositions, serving of what's called interrogatories, which call for answers to various questions made under oath or by declaration. It could be a request for production of documents that one side believes is the other side's possession, custody, or control, is in the other side's possession, custody, or control. It could be request for admissions. Admit that X, yes or no, admit that Y, yes or no. Each side will serve discovery in order to get evidence to help them either defend their case, which is what WSU is doing here, or prove their claims, which is what the plaintiff's task will be. There's a number of other affirmative defenses here. Number 8 is stating that the defense alleges plaintiffs have failed to file a claim against the state of Washington, which is required. This is a pursuit tort type claim that must be filed against the state. And they're saying that it wasn't done properly. Oh boy. They're saying that they did not take measures in another affirmative defense to adequately mitigate to lessen their damages, if any. And they're saying that in their 6th affirmative defense, everything that they did was based in good faith in the performance of its duties and therefore are immune from suit for example, and those costs can add up very quickly and get to be very high in federal court. So they want their costs reimbursed. And then they also want their attorney's fees, what it costs to have, even though it's the attorney
Right.
general, but still they're having to put time aside to defend this case.
Right. So basically you're going to countersue for all the money it's going to cost to fight the families. And let me, I hope I can articulate this right. I've said this before in other cases. There's a difference between the criminal phase and the civil case, phase. And a lot of times the big shit comes out in the civil phase. So Brian Koberger pled guilty in the criminal phase of this thing. That is far from over. The civil side is when a lot of big shit comes out, including what they did, what law enforcement might have done wrong, what the prosecution may have done wrong, that led to an incorrect criminal situation. And this happens in cases all over the place. O.J. Simpson found not guilty in the criminal case, but has faced civil penalties. Same thing happened in Ben Fields in Letcher County that I'm doing. He was found criminally guilty of a few things and basically got a slap on the wrist in some respects. But the civil case may be where the fucking real rubber meets the road and the huge amounts of information will come out in penalties. Now, in this kind of case, same kind of thing. You got a simple criminal case of Koberger pleading guilty, but that civil case is going to become where monstrous amounts of details come out.
It also says in summary here, WSU has denied everything. They have denied that there was any culpability here. They've denied that they were negligent and that they violated Title IX in a very strong terms in answering to this complaint. They have raised some other interesting affirmative defenses, left open the possibility that there may be other third parties or entities out. They're stressing that, okay? They're along with Mr. Koberger, who you might want to go after. So
yeah,
in essence, that's the big part of that, in my opinion.
Here's what I think. I think what reading, I think this is my interpretation. WSU has reason to believe that they withheld information from Discovery from Ann Taylor,
Yep.
and that there's stuff that's still out there that will prove it didn't happen. Just like I've said, I'll guarantee you this: it didn't happen the way they said it did. It didn't happen the way Koberger pled guilty to. That's not how it happened, and I think they probably know that as well. And when the discovery comes out, they're going to find that we've all been lied to about what happened. It didn't happen the way they told you it happened. I'm still going with that. It didn't happen the way they said it happened.
When Bloom came out the other day, we all kind of got together and said, some shit's going to hit the fan coming down the road now, I think. And I kind of think this could be some of that shit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna open up some doors or some cans of something that they didn't want to open, I think. So
it's hilarious because we as a panel asked this question: is there any possibility that when the families sued WSU, that they are now WSU going to be incentivized to say, well, maybe it wasn't Brian Koberger, maybe it wasn't Brian Koberger alone, and that they actually are going to open up a can of whoop ass because now there's massive amounts of money on the line, and they're going to we're not going to just eat that shit. Maybe you guys didn't do a proper investigation.
And I told you guys I didn't think that.
Yeah, I said that. I know on the one panel I was like, well, and all WSU has to do is be like, hey, YouTubers.
Yeah.
You want to help? I mean,
right.
Seriously, free labor.
We're already here waiting.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I think we all said it though at the same time. Like, this is not going to go the way they think it's going to go for them.
No,
it's going to have. There's going to be some issues.
I can't even really believe that they filed the lawsuit. I mean, couldn't they see? Didn't they have the well, apparently not, to see the foresight how that might have backfired on them.
Right,
and now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, so was it a mistake of greed on the family's side that we're going to go after this big money without realizing that they could inevitably fuck themselves because they're giving WSU incentive to fight the official narrative? Like if they just let it go, the official narrative might have stuck, but them opening the lawsuit, WSU is going to be like, I'm not eating that kind of thing. I'm going to fight back and prove that maybe the whole story was bullshit. Was it unintentional or was it intentional? Is somebody manipulating this because that's what was the plan all along, is having it come out in the civil investigation?
And not only that, now on top of that, they're going to make them pay back all this money as well. So
Robin's head's gonna explode. What do you got, Robin?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Did you read in that document? Did you say tort law? Did you say tort?
Yes, I did.
Remember, I said to you the insurance part of it. If their insurance company, whoever their big insurance company is like, I'm not fucking paying for that if we can prove that Brian isn't the one that did it.
Right.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. See.
Right. See, we all have instincts. We have instincts, and we can see it. You can see ahead where that shit can unravel, and it's starting to unravel.
This is gonna blow up. This is gonna blow up big time, I think, in their faces. Like,
I agree. I agree.
I mean,
wow.
I believe in karma, folks, and I'm not saying that these people deserve bad karma. What I believe in is good karma as well. Like, good things can come from bad things at some point where the truth could be exposed, and that's what I mean by that. So
yeah. Wow, this could get crazy. This could get crazy. And the fact that I'll have to read it myself, right? And not that I don't trust you, because that's not what I'm saying, but I need to read it myself.
Yeah.
What I heard you say was several times something to the effect of there may be other perpetrators that are still going to come out in an ongoing investigation. Why is there an ongoing investigation? This should be all done. We already know who did it. He pled guilty. What's their but it makes it sound like they're still looking into the possibility it wasn't done by one guy. And we're going to be like, I would like somebody to come over personally to my house and thank me for helping me bring that into the public consciousness.
Yeah.
Not just me. It wasn't just me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've all been saying it, but the point being is like, well, we've been telling you for forever that this wasn't done by one guy.
Everything in the dark eventually comes to light, folks.
I put it backstage if you want to see it.
Oh, you got it? Good.
I put it up. Yeah. You want me to pull it up or?
Let me see. The actual document, you mean?
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a whole bunch of pages. Which one are you?
It's 4 pages.
Oh, what the hell just happened there?
All right, let's start all over again.
Okay, do over. Let's start the show. All right.
What the heck was that?
Go ahead. Since you know which one is what first, go ahead. My only fear is reading a whole legal document online, because that can get tedious. But
Yeah, I don't know why. Oh, here we go. It's not. It's really like 3 pages.
okay,
Yeah, that's the same thing I was reading to you.
Same thing.
yeah.
Basically, I just read the transcript from it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah. Let's maybe hold off on reading it verbatim, because it might get a little dry to read the thing. But it sounds to me like it sounds to me like it's potentially huge, right? It's potentially huge, because if they're incentivized to say maybe it didn't happen the way that everybody said it did, and maybe there's still investigation going into other perpetrators, that would be enormous. And then how does everybody feel about this whole, well, who cares if it's other people? He pled guilty, so shut the fuck up. Like, well, maybe some people want the actual killers to go to jail, not just one guy.
Right.
How about the people who are walking
real
free?
people? Yeah, that's
Right.
what you should want.
Yeah.
Everybody should want that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you believe in our country and our constitution, you absolutely should want that.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely.
Pretty exciting. I'm rigid with anticipation.
Yes, there's some stuff coming down the pike, I think, on this. So
Yeah,
I'm looking forward.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
This fucking case, man. It's just nuts.
It's never ending, bro. Never ending. Like, there's no. I've looked. I don't see the end anywhere. Never.
Nope, it's nowhere to be
Right.
seen. Oh my
More,
gosh. And-
Lifetime movies and books in the future, aren't there?
Yeah.
I hope if they're gonna do a movie, I hope to God that somebody besides Lifetime at least tries to make a decent one that gives light to the victims and everything. You know what I mean?
And look, I really want to say this for a question, and I'm not being catty. I do not want this to come off being catty, but you have to ask yourself, what if WSU fights this and proves that the official story was bullshit, and then the families have to pay WSU for the wrongful lawsuit? How horrible it will be for them to have the tables reversed, and now all of a sudden they've got to deal with the grieving of their family, but then now they just lost a shit ton of money in a lawsuit.
And that's when they need to turn the lawsuit and sue the fuck. And I mean sue the fuck. Excuse my language.
Out of
not
law enforcement and the
out
state
of
of Idaho.
White County and every bit of that. Yes.
Yeah.
That's when they need to do. That's what they should have been doing to begin with.
Yep.
But
And Hitler
that
should
does
be
turn, and I hope
disbarred.
they don't have to go through that. I hope that doesn't happen to them in that aspect. But I hope the truth comes out. But if that does, then they need to turn tail and sue Latah, Moscow, all of them for everything.
Yep.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy.
Now, yeah, we've been talking about doing that since before Christmas. That mock trial thing. We've been trying to put that together. It is crazy. It is crazy. I have a feeling, guys, that we're going to be busy coming down the road here pretty soon. So,
Yeah.
lots to talk about.
All right. Well, hey, I'm on East Coast over here, and my Airbnb where I'm staying at may not appreciate my excitement on this case, and as I'm yelling at freaking, approaching late at night. So this would be a good time to wrap up, unless you guys want to go without me. So what do you guys think? You guys want to go without me, or want to just call it a night for tonight?
We can call it a night. I'm good.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fine.
All right, let's do my traditional thing. We'll go Robin one Dago, and then I'll say goodnight to everybody, and let's go around the horn. Robin, what do you got for close?
Well, first and foremost, it has been wonderful having you back. We have certainly missed you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Secondly of all, continue to stay safe out there.
Thank
as you continue along your way, you and your lovely wife. And just thanks for everyone coming out tonight. As always, all the mods on both sides, all the chats. I mean, we can, like we always say, we couldn't do what we do without you. Each and every one of you, whether you're here live or you're watching on the replay crew, we appreciate you so much, and we'll be back again tomorrow night.
Awesome, and hopefully I will be here tomorrow night as well. It's possibly lining up in the cards. We'll see how my next evening shapes up. It's hit or miss until I get back from my quote unquote vacation, which is going to be Monday night. So I'll be back for sure Monday night, but until then, it's hit or miss on when I'm going to be available. All right, one. What do you got for close?
Great show as always. Thanks everyone, meatballs, denizens. If we have any of Logan's people, thanks to the mods. Thanks Dago, Robin, Lee. Be safe out there. Make sure you keep that phone charged.
Yeah.
About it.
Yeah.
And we will keep continuing on, asking questions, bringing stuff to you. So I will leave you with
trivia.
A movie trivia. Let's see. You missed last night. The answer was Ghostbusters. Dago's.
I would have known that. I bet. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. I gave 2 quotes. He's been on fire. So here we go. Any questions? Yeah, I got a question. Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe? I'll give you the answer to that question, Mr. Bender, next Saturday. Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
Oh, I know that line. Oh my God, that's a great line.
God damn it, I know that too.
I know. I love that. Oh my God, like I gotta work it out.
You said the guy's name. Is it Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's right. That teacher. They're like, you mess with the bull, you get the horn.
You get the horns. Yes.
Yeah. Dago's on fire.
Damn, dude.
Oh, Amanda said it. I see it there, and so did Tandy, and so did Gulf Coast, and Mitten. Everybody got it. So it's not me.
That's
Everybody
awesome.
got it.
By the way, as the inside joke, real quick before I bring you up, Dago, for your close, inside joke. So I did do some location sharing with a few people on my team, so that if I ever go missing on a back road in Kentucky, they'll know where I was last known at, kind of thing. But what I didn't realize is everybody gets to tell me how much percentage of my battery life's left, because it tells them not only the location but what my battery. And they're like, "Dude, charge your fucking battery." And I'm like, "How the hell do you know what my battery status is?" But anyways, it comes with the territory of sharing your location with your team. So, anyways, what do you got for close?
First off, again, thank you guys. Well, first off, welcome back, sir. It was great to have you back again. We all did miss you for sure. It's a little, I mean, everybody's great here, of course, but it's just different when you're not here. I'll just be honest with you. So, and it's different as in like we all miss having you here. So, not to get mushy on you, just saying. It's great to have you back. Like I said, thank you to everybody within the communities, as always, for being here, guys. Thank you to all the moderators. Thank you again to my producer, videographer. You guys are amazing. I couldn't do this without any of you. And thank you to the amazing 1-1 and Robin again for help put all this together. I appreciate it, guys. As always, keep asking the hard questions, folks. Don't give up and keep pushing forward. Love to all of you. Everybody have a great night, and I will see you. I'm excited for tomorrow.
All right. Thank you very much. And let's see if I can put myself on screen. Nope, I can't. Look at that. How about that? I can't. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm stop it.
Bye, everybody.
I'm totally out of sync. All right, this is my close. Wow. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for and Robin just hijacked my shit again. I was on screen. Whatever. You didn't touch it. All right. Whatever. The point being, thank you for coming tonight. Thanks for everybody holding the show down while I'm out of town. I'm trying to do some work and plugging along. I will see you hopefully tomorrow night. If not, I'm pretty sure the team will go on without me. And yeah, so have a great one. And by the way, that WSU news might be enormous. WSU fighting back and suggesting that there may be other entities involved. That's crazy. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Oh, yeah, that's right. We would, in like the true crime community. All right. Have a great night, everybody. Take it easy.